This one, everything about this sounds amazing. Hello everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with some books that I should have read by now. So today what I want to talk about are some books that are by Black authors that I am very excited to read. Now, this is not an original idea. I actually saw Serena from A Wandering Mind do this video, so she said that I could steal her idea, so I'm doing that. And I will leave a link to her video down below as well. But she does like a wide range of stuff, and mine are mostly YA fiction. I know I need to read more adult, I know I need to read more nonfiction, and I do have plans to do so. These are just where like the top is right now. Before we get into all of that, I did want to take a second and use my voice because we need to talk about the injustice and the racism that is coming to the forefront in the world right now. While the death and murder of George Floyd here in the United States because of police brutality did end up happening in the United States, it is a world issue. It is not just a US issue, though that's where it seems to be centered right now. I don't want to speak about it because I'm not the person that you should be listening to, because I'm white and I am part of the majority that is the problem. I am the problem and I'm not someone that you should be listening to, so I do want to encourage you to sign petitions when you can, to use your platform if you have one, and if you don't have your platform, talk to your family, talk to your friends, look inside yourself to see what's going on there. Donate to places if you do have money to donate. I know that the coronavirus has put a lot of financial strain on a lot of people, so if you are unable to donate, there are places and things that you can do. For example, there is a YouTube video that has been circling where all of the ad revenue for it goes to, you know, jail funds and other petitions that are helping the people who have been directly affected by the deaths and people who are in jail because they protested it. So there are tons of places where this money goes. So if you aren't able to donate yourself, there are places to do that. Educate yourself by any means possible, whether that is sitting with yourself and looking into yourself and realizing where you as a white person are the problem, and then hoping to extend from yourself to your family, to your friends, to your social media. Share the word, share the petitions, share where you can donate, share as much information as you can, because it is not acceptable to not use your voice right now. So please check out all the links that I will have linked down below. It is not acceptable to not say something. It is not acceptable to not take this time to educate yourself if you are white. So don't listen to me, listen to people from the Black community who are on the front lines, who are your fellow book friends, and just listen. That's really the biggest thing, is to listen to them and try to understand. We're not going to fully understand, but try to understand what living in America or in the world is like for them, period. So, like I said, I'm not the person to listen to on that front. I'm sure I've said a million things wrong in this video, and just please check out the things that I've listed below and please do your part. I will leave those links in the description of videos for the foreseeable future. So we need to do better, and that includes me. So please do something if you can. So with that being said, let's start talking about some books by Black authors that I am very excited about. Now, a lot of these I don't own because either A, they're new releases and I don't have access to them yet, or I'd like just recently bought them so they're on their way to me, or B, I'm waiting for them to come to my library. But these are books that like I really want to read right now, and I'm excited about these. Some of these I've had on my list for like a while, but let's talk about them. So the very first book, let me move over here so that I can put pictures. The very first book that I want to talk about is Jackpot by Nick Stone. I read Dear Martin by Nick Stone I want to say it was last year, and I loved her writing, and I would love to one day read everything that she has written, but Jackpot is one that really is intriguing to me because it's about the lottery, and I kind of love that. So according to Goodreads, it says that this is a pitch-perfect romance that examines class privilege and how a stroke of good luck can change an entire life. This follows a girl named Rico who is a senior in high school, and she works as an afternoon cashier in a gas and go, and then immediately after work and school she runs home to take care of her little brother every single day. And she ends up selling the winning lottery ticket, and she ends up teaming up with a boy named Zan, who is very rich and from her school, and they kind of team up to find the person who won this lottery. And she comes from a very poor background, he comes from a very rich background, and the clash that comes with that. Like I said, I loved Nick Stone's other work, and I'm just excited to continue on with her works because, like I said, I'd love to read them all, but this is the one that is at the top of my list for her specifically. So the next book that I am very excited about is Felix Ever After by Kaysen Callender. This one just sounds amazing. This follows a boy named Felix Love who is not only black, but he is transgender and also falls into the LGBTQIA plus community. So there's a lot that's happening there. And he just really wants to be in love. He's never been in love before. But then he starts receiving anonymous homophobic messages that shows Felix before he transitioned. And he decides to go on a quest for revenge on whoever this person is. But in doing so, he kind of finds himself in a love triangle. So this sounds like a little bit of Simon versus Homo sapiens gender-esque as far as plotline goes, and y'all know I love that book, and this book just sounds amazing because it's like everything about this is just yes. The next two that I'm going to be talking about just came out, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to actually get my hands on these, but I read what they're about and I just want them. They sound amazing and ones that are really going to make me have all the feelings. So I'm excited. But the first one that I'm going to talk about is A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. Now, this one sounds fantastic because it involves sirens living amongst humans. Yes, just yes. This follows our main character named Tavia, I believe is how you pronounce that. And she's a siren, but she is forced to keep her abilities and magical powers under wraps because sirens are not accepted in this community. And she also lives in Portland, Oregon, where there is a very small population of black people. So she's got a couple of things going against her, and then a gigantic siren murder trial basically grabs the nation, and a fashion icon of hers reveals that she is a siren. So she has to deal with all of that happening as well. And then I believe at a police stop, she accidentally reveals her magical voice. And this seems like it's going to tackle everything that's happening in the world right now, but have a magical twist to it. And I want this so badly. It sounds amazing, just truly fantastic, and the cover is beautiful. So it's just, I need it. Yeah. So the next book that I'm very excited about is also one that just came out, and that is You Should See Me in a Crown by Lee Johnson. Now, I've seen this one circling for a while, but the minute that I read what it was about, I said yes. Yes, please. So this follows our main character named Liz, who always kind of never took herself, always thought she was too poor, too awkward. She just didn't think that she could shine. And so her thought was, it's fine, I will go to this great college, I will play in the orchestra, and I will become a doctor. But then her financial aid falls through and she has to come up with another plan. Then she's reminded of the scholarship prom queen and king at her school, and so she vies for being the queen. But it sounds like she's going to develop feelings for one of the other contestants who is vying for queen, and Yes, I am so excited because if I understand correctly, this is own voices. So it sounds fantastic. And I know that these two that I just mentioned just came out, so I just want them. So I hope my library gets them soon, or I can find them online, because I just need these books in my life. I just do. They sound amazing. So the next book is Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett. Y'all, this sounds amazing. So it follows our main character Simone, who is HIV positive, and she goes to a new school. And this kind of gives me the same feels as If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo, as far as like having a secret and not wanting to tell anybody. So she's in this new school and she does end up making new friends, and then of course she starts having feelings for a guy and they kind of start a relationship, but she's very aware of being HIV positive and how taking the next step and doing, you know, the next big step as far as like physical relationships go, she's gonna need to tell him. And then on top of all of that, she receives an anonymous note in her locker that says, "Hey, I know about your secret. I need you to stay away from this boy, or I'm gonna tell the entire school." And so she has a lot of things that are piling up against her, and this sounds incredible. The next one that I'm very excited to read is Slay by Brittany Morris. This one is more kind of, I believe it's more sci-fi-esque, if I understand correctly, but it follows our main girl, Kira Johnson. By day, she is pretty much normal. She is an honor student, she's a math tutor, she is one of the only black kids in her school, and by night she joins tons and tons of other black gamers in a role-playing game that is only open to black people. She's also the game's developer. But then unfortunately there is a death in relation to the game, and so it gets boosted up into like mainstream media, and a lot of people are attacking the game and her for it being racist, for it being like ridiculous things like exclusivist, calling the people who do it violent and criminals, calling it anti-white discrimination, like just awful things. And so she has to deal with all of that and kind of learn how to be unapologetically herself. This is one that I've had on my eye on for quite a while. I remember seeing it first on Jessie from Bowties and Books channel, and it sounded really amazing when they were talking about it. It does have like a little bit of Ready Player One vibes. Now, I haven't ever read that book, but the whole gaming kind of gives me that type of vibe. So yeah, I'm excited. The next book is one that I literally stumbled upon, and it sounds incredible, and that is I Want to Be Where You Are by Christina Forrest. Now, this one sounds like a road trip coming of age story, but it also involves dance, and I personally have dance in my background. Both my parents were ballet dancers, so I'm so intrigued. It follows a girl named Chloe who really, really wants to audition to be in this dance conservatory, but her mother says no. So she decides to go on this road trip and do it anyway. And then, of course, her annoying neighbor Eli finds that she's leaving and basically forces her to take him along, or he will tell her mom. So not only does she get Eli, she gets his dog. And so it sounds like there's going to be a lot of fun road trip vibes, shenanigans, maybe some budding romance. We shall see. I'm not a huge fan of like road trip books. I mean, they're good, they're fine, but they're not the ones that I lean towards. But this sounds fantastic and I want to read it. So I'm excited. The next one is one that I literally also stumbled across, and it's the YA pick from Barnes & Noble this month, I believe, but it is The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. I really hope I said that right. I literally read the first line and was sold because it is written in verse, and you guys know I love books written in verse. But it follows this kid. He's a mixed-race gay teen living in London who discovers the world of drag. I am so excited. Also, the cover is gorgeous, by the way. I'm excited. So that's not like literally on its way. It should get to me in like 3 or 4 days, and might be rearranging everything in my TBR just to fit some of these books in because they sound so good. Another one is one that is, I'm sure, on a lot of people's radar, and it has been on mine for like a few months, and that is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have never read a book by her, but she does write a lot of books in verse, and I've been really intrigued by The Poet X, so I might get that one as well from the library. But Clap When You Land sounds fantastic, but it follows two girls who have the same father but don't know that they have the same father, and then I believe he ends up dying in a plane crash, and they have to, like, first off they find out about each other and then just deal with everything that comes from that. So not only do these two girls have to, like, deal with the immense loss of losing a loving parent, because it sounds like both of them really do love their father, then they find out about each other. So I usually don't like reading books about grief. That's just not something that I usually lean towards, but I know that I need to read more. So I'm really intrigued by this one, and I love books in verse, and I know that she did an audiobook of the first book, like her first book, Poet X, because she's also a slam poet, and so I'm hoping that that will be a thing as well, that I can find in, like, Scribd or something, so that I can listen to her and read it how she was meaning for it to come across. And I just am so excited about that one too. So the last book that I have to talk about is actually one that I do own. Honestly, like, it's gorgeous and I need to read it. But that is Pride by E.B. Zaboy. This is the Owl Crate version. This is a remix of Pride and Prejudice. But this follows our main character, Zuri, who is our Elizabeth character, and the very wealthy Darcy family moves in right across the street with two younger sons, and her older sister falls for the charming Ainsley, and then of course there is the lovely and arrogant Darius. So this sounds like it's going to be the plot line of Pride and Prejudice, which y'all know I love, but with a lot of, like, talk on economic diversity. It says at the bottom here, "And this timely update of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, critically acclaimed author E.B. Zaboy skillfully balances cultural identity, class, and gentrification against the heady magic of first love." And just yes. So those are all of the books that are at the top of my TBR. I definitely have more books on my shelves and more books that I want to read, but those are, like, of the top right now. I don't even know how many I talked about today. But I wanted to do this video and highlight some books that sound amazing and that you guys should check out and maybe look into reading yourselves and supporting these authors. Especially the ones that just came out, because, like, they need some love. But that's basically all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any recommendations of books by Black authors or books about racism in general and police brutality and what's happening in this world, whether they are fiction or non-fiction, I know that there are tons of recommendations out there and recommendation lists, but if there's just one that you really love, please let me know. I would love to add it to this TBR, and let me know if you have read any of the books that I've talked about. I'd like to know your opinions on them if you have read them. Like I said, I will leave links down below to things that you can do to help the Black Lives Matter movement, so please do something and share the word, raise your voice, use your voice. You have it, use it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Share your voice, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.